Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here, and I have things I forgot to talk about on the calendar. So I will get those wrapped up today. I'm actually filming this on Saturday, which was Quilt Day, World Quilt Day, and I was sewing on this pattern, the lattice pattern, free pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. So I will show you how much I got done as of the time I filmed this. So hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll show you a much different picture of what I got done. So first, let's do the Secret Lives of Color, because I didn't do that the other day when I should have. And we're on block 21, and it is the color Ginger. And so this is the ginger that I picked. Whoops. There it is, which is darker, a little more pumpkin-y color. And I paired it with the aqua that I'm using. Mostly I'm using this aqua with the small blocks and keeping the pink and green for the bigger blocks. That's kind of the pattern I'm going for. And I'm on the second row now of the asymmetrical layout, which has 3 different size blocks. So I pick a different size. I'm doing the 3-inch today, and this is what I'll now be able to sew together. Then there's a strip, because this row is a little different than the last row. They're not all identical rows. So that's kind of exciting to be able to do something, have another set of 3 to sew together. So ginger. So do many of you think of food or hair color? Those are the 2 topics that the book goes into for ginger. So I'm like thinking, what did I first think? I think I first thought of food. That was the first thing, ginger spice, gingerbread cookies, that kind of a thing. But then I started, when we're talking about the redheads, gingers, I never used that term personally, or my circle of friends and family never used the term ginger for a redhead. But I do have a redhead in my family, and I sure wish I had been a redhead. I think that would have been so fun. My mom's mom, Nana, her real name, not her grandma name, was Mabel. So Mabel was a redhead. But by the time I remember, sort of thinking about her hair color and stuff, she was coloring her hair. She colored it herself, or she liked to go to the teaching salon. There was a salon where there were students, and so for a long time, especially when she worked in the office, she worked for Bell Labs as a telephone operator and an instructor for operators and supervisor. But she would go and have it done by the students because it was inexpensive. It was really close to her house. She could just walk there, and she liked it. She was very, very outgoing. She was very people oriented, and so she liked talking to the students and letting them work on her hair. She would call her Liquid Sunshine. That was, I think, the color name of the color that she used when she started buying it herself. So she used her Liquid Sunshine. So my Nana was a redhead, and I think it would have been really fun to be a redhead. So if you're a redhead, raise your hand. If you know one, have one in your family. Celebrate redheads when you're making your Secret Lives of Color today, or gingerbread, one or the other. What else do we have? It is our, let's do this next. So Be My Neighbor. We're doing 2 blocks each month of Be My Neighbor. Will You Be My Neighbor is its full name of this. That's too long. I don't want to say that all the time. So as you know, mine was already sewn up to a certain point, and then I didn't finish. And a lot of you did, but I didn't. So our second block is what I think looks like a barn. So it is the blue block there with the silo. So that is block number 2. I use 2 different aquas. See, you look on here, I have this like little stripe, and then I have this with the pine cones. So there are 2 different aquas in mine. And I think part of that is because, like I showed you all that fabric when we did block 1, is that I had a lot of layer cakes. And so your layer cake is not going to stretch as far to do the block. So I just picked 2 that had the same shade of aqua and used them for the block. I will have a picture of that block is at my website today. So you can just link is below in the description box here, or as the first comment, which I pinned to the top. And if you're getting my emails, which you should be signed up, then you will get an email of the notice of the article today. So you can go over there and look. Speaking of email, sometimes when you email me, it comes in, if you're emailing me a question, if it comes in when I have a lot of other emails and maybe I'm doing a lot of things, sometimes it gets lost. I lost one on the weekend. I'm sorry, whoever you are, you were asking for my mailing address, and I can't find the email. So I don't know what happened. I may have cleaned out my spam bucket at the same time. Maybe it got put in there, or I don't know. So my address is at my About page on my website, patsloan.com. The About page has my address. But if you have emailed me and you haven't heard from me in like a day or two, that would be very unusual. So write me again. Also, some of you write and you send from your email that got garbage. You're sending out, but when I do a reply back to you, it's garbage. It's generally those of you using Outlook. So check that, because if you're writing a lot of people and nobody's answering you, it's because we can't. It rejects. Your email is some sort of garbage thing. So those are some maintenance things you need to do on your end, or need to help me out. If I haven't answered you, just write me again. Okay, sorry. It just happens sometimes. I try, but I get a lot of email. And so it does, and I'm the only one who edits and reads it and has to reply. So there's no other person. So it just sometimes gets missed. Okay, let's do mail. Let's do more mail. Let's do my mail call. I have a mail call today from Sherry in Oklahoma. So first you have to see this card. Look how pretty that is. Let me tell you, the block on there, it says, okay, you can look at it while I read it. It says, Prairie Queen Quilt Block. It is the memory of strong women who helped settle the West. The center of this 9-patch block was sometimes inscribed by family and friends as a remembrance of those the owner was leaving behind. So like when, people were settlers back in the day, when they got on the wagon trains and then they were settlers, often maybe not everybody wanted to go, but the main person of the house decided we were going. And so family members would make them quilts and label them and put little notes to them so they could remember them, because more than likely when they left the east and went west on the prairie, to the prairie, they may never have seen their friends and family in the east again. That was just the way it was. There was no email then and no phones, so they just had to give up that life. So she sent me some gorgeous looks like they're carved wooden sunflower earrings made in Oklahoma. Aren't those pretty? Thank you, Sherry. Mwah. Okay, now we're going to look at what's on the wall, because, well, first of all, it's a hot mess because I got it layered. I've got the string beans on top of the woodsy, and that's just crazy to look at, but I'm trying to decide what to put on the top there, because I want to make this just a little bit longer, so it'll be like 12 inches longer by doing a little mini border on the top and the bottom, where I want to do a strip and then do the scrappy and then that same color strip again and do those 3 at the bottom. And that way it'll make that quilt, it's really big, but it will make it just a little bit longer, so I think that would be super fun. So I did a little auditioning. Let me show you those videos. So I put these up on the wall just to check the layout of this 3rd row before I sew it on, because if I want to change anything. And right here I have the same fabric, this fruit fabric in teal. And I actually have a similar fabric, the same fabric like this right here. I think I'm going to change both of those on the 3rd row. Definitely the teal. The other one doesn't bother me as much because it's not as strong of an image, but I might change it. I tried the polka dot up here, so it'd be like all the way across, and then the scrappy piece, and then the polka dot. And it just might be a little too much. So let's try something else. There is a strip of pink So the pink actually is pretty nice because there's quite a bit of pink in here. But let's also try sort of like a light bluey aqua. So there's that sort of between a light blue and an aqua, because it's actually both, you know, I think it's more like a blue, but it's more like this strip here, the color of that strip. That's nice because it actually doesn't give a whole lot of definition. It's pretty neutral, I guess would be the good word. So I don't know, pink or blue, pink or blue. So there's a strip of orange. Orange isn't too bad. I don't know. What are you thinking? I also tried yellow, a little strip of yellow, and green, but I really don't have enough green to do anything with, so that was a nix. So now, you know, I really don't know. I also took a picture of yellow, which was the yellow that's in there, but I don't have enough of it and I'm not buying it anymore. But I could find a similar yellow. I also put green, but I do not have a good green. I looked in what I already own. There's a lot of fat quarters, they're not enough, and I just don't have the right green, so that isn't going to work. And I did ask the moderators for our group, the Quilt Along with Pat Sloan group. I sent them a picture and said, which do you like? And of course there's like, you know, 10 of them, and they were useless. They were all telling me all different things, but they did like the orange, and they did like the black and white polka dot, which is quite striking. I don't know, the black and white polka dot is kind of neat because it brings the polka dots out, but then the orange also just sort of let that top and bottom pop a bit. So I don't know, I'm sort of torn. Do I, you know, what do I do? Which do I like? So you tell me which you like, because I really don't know. So I am going to take this down because I want to put up the blocks I have so far here on Saturday afternoon for the lattice. All right, blank slate. Now, when you do these blocks, you can do, there was actually a lot of directional fabrics in here. So that means one direction or the other, some of them will be, you know, rotated the opposite way. So like here is, you can see a good example. I can place the block so that the full rectangle is vertical, and that all of my directional fabrics then can be in this vertical, and then these will be go the wrong way. Or well, I can just switch it, or I can switch it the other way, and the wider strip will be horizontal, which means that directional fabric is horizontal. I'm leaning to putting them like this, because I think that visually I want to see that unbroken image down the middle like this, rather than the unbroken image horizontal, and these being the correct direction. So that's where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to place them side by side, which is how the pattern is. I think I have 12 of them is what I did so far today. Which is Saturday afternoon. Oh, by the way, I went before I filmed this and got a coffee. Thank you, because this drink is on you and you and you. Mwah. It's wonderful. Okay, with 12 of these done, I can really get an idea for the look. And I have a plan. I have something I've thought of. Now look at this one. This one was pretty dark. So this is, the fabric line is called Saturday in Paris. I'm calling it Saturday Night in Paris. And this looks really cool, but is also very mushy. So ultimately, I will probably just leave it in, but it's a little dark for the, for what's going on here. It'd be nice if it was one of the lighter blues. So, you know, I had to take out, in order to do the exact number, if you want to do the quilt exactly like the pattern version, you need to take out, you won't use some of the layer cake because there's too many pieces. Okay, we'll do it horizontal here. So let me just get these last three up. Okay, stick up there. Last three, 1, 2, 3, there we go. So here it is side by side like the pattern. So here's the pattern. So you can, whoops, you can see it. And then the pattern does give you for doing, you know, larger versions, you know, lap size and even bigger with more layer cake, more 10-inch squares. But I think it's kind of cool like that. But I had this thought, what if I did a half drop? a half drop means that I would take every other row and drop it halfway. And then what I would do is that these every other row would have one less block in it, and I would put navy up here, and then navy down here. So I like the half drop. What do you think? I'm thinking that the half drop is kind of interesting, and it's not any more work to put it together. It's the same. I just have to make some other strips. I have plenty of navy. I had like 4 yards or something of the navy, so I have plenty of that. Then what I'm going to do, that'll adjust the pattern, I think, just a little bit. It's 48 by 68. What I'm thinking is I may go ahead and make this like the size for the charity quilts to go to Lutheran World Relief, which is about 60 by 80. So I would make a few more blocks, do these half drops, and then make a few more blocks so I can get it wider. Or I don't really want to put just a big wide border on it. I think I can add in a few fabrics that I have to this in the same shades of pink and aqua and blue. And that would just mix it up some, put in the other ones that I had taken out and put those back into the mix. So I needed to look, because the next size up, what does it tell me? I think it is, that's a baby size. Yeah, the next size up, okay, is 67 by 86. So it's just a little long, so because I don't want to go really more than 83. And that takes 2-layer cakes, so I just had the 1-layer cake. So I don't know. I may have to just enlarge it by using, if I decide to do this for the Ukrainian quilt relief. If I decide to, I may go just with the navy border to bring it up to size, like make it a little bit wider, and then the border to go out to get it to the size it needs to be. So I will still work on this all week, this coming week, and give you some progress. By Tuesday or Wednesday, if I show you again, it'll be a lot further, because this is only Saturday afternoon right now, and I didn't get that far. Okay, one other thing is, be sure at my website today you sign up for the Quilt Alliance, my interview with the Quilt Alliance, which will be on March 30th. It is free, so you can come and watch, where there'll be a live Q&A at the end. I've done the interview. They're now going to add in pictures, and then when it airs on the 30th of March, there will be the ability for you to ask questions, and I can answer them real time there on the video. So links are down below to my website and to sign up for that. All right, my friend, let's see your little, if you're doing the 3-inch with me today, it is your ginger color that you're working on, your Be My Neighbor, and whatever you were working on for Quilt Day. I'd love to see your status and where you are today on Monday. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being in the Sloan Zone. I'll see you online.